Now, knowing that can be true and really easily done, so you find someone that hasn't been found before, a poor one specifically, right? And if you can find this person and instead of giving them a job, you can hide them away, set them up, you know, put them away somewhere, block them, right? When it comes to technology, but listen to them and act like them, right? Then you can be them. You take them. And people, thieves, new way of thieving, can do this easy. All they got to do is get in on your phones and your devices, like the movie I put up before, right? Or they set up little cameras, they break in like they usually always do, and they set up cameras around your house. So that way they can thieve you, right? Block you. They can even block information. So you end up just having a hard drive full of shit, and no one ever really sees anything because they deleted all my shit off the internet. Huh? What have I got? I've only got what I've got on the hard drives that I've kept around myself personally, haven't I? Huh? So you got to be careful, people out there. That's why I'm in the position I'm in and talking the way I'm talking. Because if I've already been seen, right, and I know that people know me, like people have put me on TV and or whatever, right? I've actually been recognised, been to a school. People know what I'm doing. Nobody knows what I'm doing. I've said hello to people, and I've offered people to look at my book, but no one's even really gone through my book. I've had a couple of people, family members, had a quick little gizzy through them, and no? But no one knows me. No one knows my ultimate goal, right? So I'm putting out little bits of it, all over the place, because I've got to mix it up. Because if you have someone doing what I was talking about, they won't be able to do it properly. They won't succeed the way I would have. And what I do, if that happens, or someone tries to release a product, you let them do it, no? Then you wait. That's what I'm doing. You wait. And then, when you're finally in a position, you know these things are away, you bring it back out. And you go, shabam! And you start again. And you start again once you know you got this group. So you start a group, you get a group again, and then you start again. Don't you? Right? And then you can talk about how these ones who already come in failed. Because that's what we hear about all the time. These people have got ultimate plans, ultimate ways, and yet here we are today, people. Hey, you know what I mean? You know why we get a lot of that too? Because they're stealing other people's paths. Right? They think, because they can, they will. They're not right for the job. Right? They're not. There could have been someone, they're stealing off people, a person copying a test. Right? And so they get a little bit like the movie I put up the other day that I was watching about IT, how these rich people get ITs so they can make money for them, which is an employee. But these people make ridiculous amount of money and they pay ITs like they're a secretary or something. Right? They don't give out equal when it comes to this technology. And then they make themselves look like they're the fucking new view and they get all the money raking in. Right? True. Anyway, I'm not saying that happens in all cases. It's just it's happening more and more often, I think. And how could we stop that? You know how we can stop things around the world, people? For real. Is that we look up to things. Humans don't all have imagination. Many people don't. They don't see it. That's why they say you got to wash a product and stuff like that and it'll sell better. As they don't see the vision. They don't want to see it sometimes. Right? And so what you do is we create a country, right, that can do shit for real. Now, if you think some rules are too far when it comes to a bit of freedom, make this country small. We should start from a small country. So if we can't get a small area right, then how the fuck are we going to get everything else right, are we? And if people don't want to come and visit this small area and feel bad because of visiting, it shows something. Or can they visit and go, feel a little bit bad, but we're going to change and be like that so we don't feel bad. And so what you do is you have a country that shows the example, like we've been trying to do, like America's meant to, right? But we all talk about how even America doesn't have it right when it comes to freedom and rights and certain things, and people aren't happy. Why is that? Because there's a lot of envy and greed around the world, and it infiltrates everything, that's why. So we need a place Usually a small place is, usually a big place would be hard to infiltrate, but once it's already infiltrated, it's hard to de-infiltrate it, right? So you start off again with a small place, and hopefully that small place doesn't upset the big place too much where they come over and just destroy you, and they just leave you alone. And over time, they can still do what they want to do. They might change, they might not. Is that true? People always start to go, I want to go to that country. Like when shit hits the fan, we have people go to certain countries. They pick certain countries. They go, I want to go there. I'm gonna travel there. That's where I want to go. I'm a good person. I work hard. I've got something when I'm rocking up. Our group's got something. They've got a boat. You know? What's wrong with letting people restart? If I had such a country, I'd be like, I would say, I don't like people rocking up. And if I find out you rock up and you haven't told us, right, I'll be upset. But if you rock up, go see the nearest people and tell them that you rocked up, right, and you got here yourself, right? And then we'll do what we need to do when it comes to getting to know you. So that way you're not running around behind the scenes. Because if you run around behind the scenes and we find out later, we will have to assume that you were doing naughties because we're a good country and we're a decent country. You get it? And if people had that, you might get flooded. But at least you can say after a time, look, I'm sorry. You're going to have to go back and please tell other people not to come at this time as you will swallow our country, right? And we can only take so much at a time. And we might take in a few more years. We really would, right? That's when you get to a point where you know you can't handle anymore, right? Because there's a tipping point of everything, isn't there? You can't just go, oh, come, because they'll all want to come, then what, right? But you can still at least be nice. And definitely be nice to people who are coming from countries that are in war, true? Or in very bad state and hard to get out of because of their beliefs. Anyway, I thought I'd chuck that out there. Have a good one and see how this person, if it's not me letting this stuff out, how they're going to duplicate what I just said and put it out cooler and better. Because apparently I can't do my job properly. But I'm good with taking some advice and then they make it look pretty, you know what I mean? Because that's what I'm getting. Why no one wants to talk to me, but rather take the advice or listen and then just move on. Which we do that in a lot of things, like when I listen to advice clips about, be strong, you can do it, and you put a comment and stuff like that. And the dude's already making money, stuff like that. And so you don't expect to help them. But there's certain people you expect to help when you see things or hear things. You think, maybe I should give them a hand. You hear this on investor people all the time. They don't just invest in the product. They might just invest in you because they know that you might come up with something you're good to work with. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there and have a good one. Bye-bye.